Live pictures now from the Mapei Stadium in Reggio Emilia. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who was there last time Milan won the title back in 2011, picking up a medal again this time as the Rossoneri take their place on the podium, ready to celebrate their return to the championship. James, has been a bunch of players going out, so many that we could celebrate as being key to the title. We've talked about Tomori today. We've talked about Rafael Leao and what an astonishing asset he's been. Other players that you'd like to point to as key?
Well, I mentioned Zlatan. Impact he's made shifting. What a performance this guy, Mike Maignan, this season. Had the job of filling the gloves of Gigi Donnarumma. Milan made Donnarumma an offer. It wasn't twice his salary, which is what Donnarumma wanted. PSG gave him that. Maignan wins back-to-back league titles. Lille last year, Milan this year. Think of all the clean sheets he's kept. The assist he had for Leao against Sampdoria.
Another amazing save today.
This guy should be starting for France at the World Cup. He is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and an absolute bargain at 14 million euro, and about a third of what Donnarumma was already making, let alone what he wanted.
What does the future hold for Rafael Leao? How much of his potential have we seen so far?
Well, James, I think he began fulfilling his potential this season. He's been at the club. This is his third season. Ibrahimovic said that he was the one player he couldn't get through to. And yet, Leao has found a way himself. I think he's realised how good a player he can be. Signed again, like a little bit like Maignan, 29 million from Lille, and now worth 2-3 times that. He's been linked with PSG, but that was in the event that Mbappe left. Mbappe's staying. Milan want to extend his contract like they have done with Theo Hernandez, who we see come through. Theo scored that Weah-like goal against Sassuolo last weekend when, yeah, it was a goal good enough to win the league title itself. You know, Theo, who was a very highly regarded player coming through in Spain. Remember Atletico, then Alaves on loan, as he does his little boogie, and then at Real Madrid. But as much as he was a part of Real Madrid's Champions League winning team under Zinedine Zidane, he was a squad player, and Milan very cleverly recognised that they could sign him for 21 million, and he could play every week, grow into the player he's become. And he's one of those players who's kind of helped change the fullback role. But this guy, I mean, this is one of the unsung heroes of Milan is the chief scout that they signed from Monaco, Geoffrey Moncada. And Moncada spotted this kid, Pierre Kalulu, when he was playing for France in the under-19 Euros in Armenia. Bayern Munich wanted him, and they managed to sign him for 1.1 million. And when Simon Kjær got injured, did his ACL, Kalulu stepped up, and Kalulu's partnership with Tomori, you know, has got Milan thinking, do we need to sign Sven Botman, who's obviously been linked with Newcastle and moves to the Premier League? Botman can move to Milan. There's pretty much everything in place for that to happen. But Kalulu's played so well next to Tomori that why not build up around this guy? A centre-back who can play right-back, James, who's French. He's been compared with Lilian Thuram. And there's no higher praise than that. And then we see Tonali as well. Tonali, whose first season was, you know, did not match expectation. A lot of expectation around him because he's from Brescia. He has a similar hairstyle to Andrea Pirlo.
Similar free kick.
One free kick. Yeah. People think he's Pirlo. He's not. He's a very different player. Looked like he was going to go back to Brescia, and Milan weren't going to take the option because they were originally due to sign him for 35 million. They negotiated a discount. We'll say, okay, we'll sign him for 25 million. He took a wage cut. But look at this kid, Tomori. Tomori, again, you know, sort of didn't get the opportunities maybe that he should have got with Chelsea. Took that chance to come to Milan in January, 18 months ago, and leaves, well, not leaves, but comes out a title winner. And again, for 28 million, James, when you think that Harry Maguire is the most expensive centre-back in the world, when you think of the money that's been paid for, I don't know, David Luiz, 50 million, for them to sign Tomori at half that, again, just illustrative of the model that Milan have put in place. And this, yeah, I mean, I would say 7 of their starting 11, James, you know, signed for under 15 million. You know, I mean, here's Simon Kjær, who was such a hero at the Euros for his intervention on when Christian Eriksen had that cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
Kjær's signing, yeah, he joined at the same time as Zlatan. And while Zlatan got a lot of the plaudits for scoring goals and helping change the culture at the club, Kjær shored everything up at the back. All of a sudden, they started keeping clean sheets. They started being consistent. Kjær was a real kind of silent leader in this team. It's a shame he missed the last 4 months with that knee injury. That's why he's grown that beard and he's grown his hair. He says he's not going to shave it off until he plays again, but he gets his winner's medal, and deservedly so. Florenzi, James, the Roman. You know, someone who would have loved to have a moment like this with his hometown club, Roma.
Right.
Went on loan to Paris Saint-Germain, I think won the league title there. Or maybe finished second to Lille last year, I don't know. Came to, obviously, Milan this year, gets a winner's medal to go with his European Championship winner's medal.
Just extraordinary scenes. And this, of course, is an away game. But very sportingly, the huge numbers of Sassuolo fans, they're applauding their visitors. Actually, they're all Milan fans. If you've been with us through the afternoon, you'll know that this is a stadium of a little over 20,000 capacity, and almost all of
Maldini.
them.
It's the boy Maldini, Daniel, who has been part of the first team squad, not a centre-back or a left-back like his father, who applauds him onto the pitch. I remember speaking to Paolo last year. He said, as Maldinis, we'd obviously got fed up chasing attackers around. So Daniel became a number 10 and gets his win when he scored in the 2-1 win against Spezia at the beginning of the season. And the dynasty continues when you think Cesare Maldini was the captain, then a coach of Milan. Obviously, Maldini won everything there is to win. Paolo Maldini won everything there is to win. And then Daniel wins the Scudetto, first one in 11 years. And Junior Macias, you know, signed on loan. Macias, who started at the bottom of the football pyramid, was playing amateur football. He was courier delivering fridges around Turin. And, you know, got his dream move after Crotone got relegated. And that's the other thing, James. I think the guys that Milan have picked up, Ismail Benacer, Krunic, Macias, they were signed from teams that got relegated. They saw talent on the cheap, they picked it up, they've meshed it, here's Krunic. They meshed it into this team, and you got this very good blend of young, talented, hungry players and proven winners like Zlatan and Giroud.
There are areas of the squad, though, that I think
yeah.
Milan fans would like to see upgraded for all their success. That's why it's been such a surprise, them winning the title ahead of Inter and names who disappointed this year, like Juve, and to an extent in the latter stages, Napoli. But with a very, very major week coming up for the Rossoneri in terms of securing their future and their future ownership, there couldn't be a better way to start it than with these celebrations. And what was a fantastic performance from
Bakayoko.
Magnificent.
Bakayoko, who's, I mean, hardly played, really. Since returning to the club on loan from Chelsea, he had another spell right at the beginning of Elliot's time. Elliott Management, the hedge fund, that came in and basically rescued the club from going to the wall. You know, Bakayoko spent a year on loan playing under Gattuso. Came back, and yeah, I mean, wouldn't say he's been a massive contributor to this one. You mentioned how the squad has room for improvement. I suppose in some areas, the depth in midfield, they're going to sign Yacine Adli from Bordeaux. Bordeaux just got relegated incidentally, but top talent from Ligue 1 will be joining. And yeah, by all means, enjoy your cigar, team.
Yeah. Do an Ancelotti, why don't you? All right, well, there you go. There might be 1 or 2 more members of the squad who need to come out, but and the one we're really looking for, I guess, is Romagnoli, and that's when the trophy is going to be held aloft.
Matteo Gabbia, one of the kids to come through the academy, played a little bit in the first half of the season. James, Gabbia means cage. He wasn't unleashed all that often this season, but yeah, great to see academy players also featuring in Milan's success. I know that was something that they wanted to try and do at Milan. You know, we've seen Daniel Maldini, we've seen Gabbia, we've seen Calabria as well. Calabria, who's been at the club for a long, long time, do it. And Salamakers, you know, one of their kind of data-driven signings they picked up when no one had heard of him from Anderlecht. Salamakers, who was kind of very much a big part of Milan moving towards a pressing game, the best pressing team in Serie A, along with, you know, sort of Torino, Verona, obviously with better players. That's why they're about to lift that trophy rather than Torino and Verona. But I think just indicative of the approach that Milan wanted to implement, to find players who didn't have big reputations but could grow, develop and show potential at Milan and become the players we've seen Leao turn into, Theo Hernandez turn into, Tonali turn into, and Frank Kessie also sharing a cigar as he goes to makes his final appearance before moving to Barcelona.
So many prospects in this Milan side, but a lot of the headlines have been earned by the veterans, Olivier Giroud particularly today. With the squad that they have post this summer, with the business that they're going to do, that you think they're going to do over the next few months, what do you think of Milan's chances of being there at this point again next season?
Look, I think even internally they would admit that they're ahead of schedule here. They didn't expect to win the league title. They wanted to consolidate their place in the top four, go back into the Champions League, use that Champions League money wisely, keep investing, keep growing gradually. So to win it as they have, I mean, for Elliott, who bought the club in 2018, or repossessed it, if you like, from the Young Hong James, I mean, if they do sell, or even if they remain as a minority shareholder, they've come full circle. The club has gone from going close to the wall to being champions of Italy again. I mean, it's a magnificent job that I think other clubs around Europe, Manchester United, could maybe look at and say, hang on a minute, they've managed to turn what seemed like a very bleak situation around in 4 years, doing it in a sustainable way. Now, in terms of their ability to build on it, I would expect Inter to be very strong again next year. Juventus will get it right, I'm sure, sooner or later. I mean,
but we did say that last year.
Yeah, but I think, and Stefano Pioli, James, we have to salute Pioli. I mean, 18 months, well, actually, James, 2 years ago, Pioli won away at Sassuolo, and that was the day that Ralf Rangnick pulled out of talks with Milan. Milan ended talks with Ralf Rangnick and gave the guy the extension he deserved. And what a sliding doors moment that is.
Absolutely. Pioli, who'd been seen as very much an interim manager with Rangnick, the future, and he did so well, Pioli. But the Rossoneri decided that that's where their future lay. And when you look at how things have worked out with Rangnick and here with Pioli, it's just an extraordinarily fortunate, auspicious decision. Very good. Well, with the trophy then about to be handed to a sodden manager and his players, let's rejoin our commentators Nigel Spackman and Adam Summerton.
Yeah, thank you, James. Here comes the club captain then, Alessio Romagnoli, ending his career with Milan, it would seem, out of contract this summer by lifting the trophy at the end of a Serie A title race for the ages. So many smiles, so much joy, and relief of pressure. We've waited so long for the moment that is about to happen. We are witnessing a Rossoneri renaissance. The Scudetto dream is now their reality. They are back on top of Italian football. Title number 19, their first since 2011. Such a special moment. Milan are the Serie A champions.
Well, I have to tell you, Adam, it doesn't get better than this. A group of players against all odds to come through and win this title. The best team in the league wins the title, and that's what Milan have done. Some outstanding players in this group. but I think you have to take special hat off to Pioli, who's glued it all together to get the best out of this squad of players. Now they can enjoy their summer, and that man will go back and decide with the board who comes in, who goes, but enjoy the moment. This is what the likes of Giroud play their football career for, 35 years of age, winning things like this. It's a brilliant scene, and congratulations, Championes, Milan.
What it will mean to him personally as well, a managerial career, a coaching career that spanned nearly 2 decades. This, the first major trophy of it for Stefano Pioli.